sorry. I just had to let her know when she could start getting the soup ready for you guys, so it'd still be warm when you got in there and not cold, because I talked too much. Okay. The cows we milk twice a day, 5:30 in the evening, 5:30 in the morning. Every day, 365 days a year, even Christmas morning, cows have to be milked. The milk goes from the milk stall through those silver pipes down into that tub. That's the real cheese making room. Can you knock on the inside of the tub for me with your knuckles? Very good. Walls are hollow. So, in the evening when the milk comes in, we just run ice water through the walls, put the lids on. It's a great big refrigerator. In the morning when the second batch of milk comes in, we just run hot water through the walls, and we warm the milk up to 29 degrees Celsius. Now you guys are now on European soil. How warm are your bodies in Celsius? Who knows?
37 degrees Celsius.
Very good, even jet lagged. Very good. You're about 37. Use that as your reference point, okay? 100 degrees is boiling. 37, actually just a little tiny bit under it, is your body temperature. So I warm this up to 29 degrees, which means it's about lukewarm, kind of around 80 Fahrenheit or so. Okay? Once I get it up to lukewarm, I add the cheese culture to it. On this farm we make Gouda cheese. All of our cheese is Gouda cheese, so I am going to add the collection of milk bacteria that makes the Gouda cheese. Is bacteria good for you or bad for you?
Good for you.
Both. Absolutely both. There's bacteria that you need in your system to help your system function properly, particularly your digestive system, and that you find in foods like cheese and in buttermilk and in yogurt and in those little Yakult bottles. They all have good bacteria cultures. There are some bacteria that will, of course, lay you out 6 feet under. You have to know which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. Kind of like eating, mushrooms in the forest. Don't do it because you don't know. Okay, so I put that in there, and then we're going to put an enzyme in the milk. The enzyme's called rennet. Rennet breaks the milk. Is milk solid or liquid?
Liquid.
Solid.
It's a weird question, isn't it? We know it's liquid because we can pour it and we can drink it, but it's thick, right? That's why it makes really creamy, nice hot chocolate. So that means that it's got solid components in it. So it's a liquid with solid components. That solid stuff in there, that's the fat and the protein. And those are the two things that I need to get out of there in order to make the cheese. So that goes in there because this is going to do that. And then I leave those two things for about a half an hour. And in that half an hour, it's just going to thicken up and it's going to get to be the consistency of yogurt. So in that pretend half hour, I want you for just a minute actually to stand with your feet shoulder width, all of you. And then I want you to wiggle your knees back and forth. Everybody has to wiggle. Because all of you look silly, so it's not that one of you is going to look silly. Okay? So everybody wiggling? You wiggling?
A little more awesome.
No. Why are we wiggling? That's exactly right. You're so good. I don't want not one single person to faint on me. Also, but that's all for all of us over 30. Okay, you can stop wiggling now. If you feel like you're getting woozy, all of a sudden you feel like you're kind of spacing out and you realize it, drop through your knees a little bit. Just wiggle. I won't think you're silly whatsoever. I'll understand what's going on. If I see any of you sort of phasing out on me, I'm going to point at you, and then I want you to wiggle your knees. Okay? And you'll know what's going on. If I see a whole group phasing out on me, I'm going to say wiggle, and then everybody's going to wiggle. Okay? Alright, so, imaginary, wiggle, wiggle. Imaginary half hour's over, and now this looks like yogurt. And once it gets to that stage, I put these 3 knives on it. There are 3 arms, 3 knives. There's a sharp side, and there is a dull side. So depending on which direction I'm moving the arms in, I can either cut or stir. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes, and I end up with this stuff. What is that?
Wheat germ?
Nope.
Culture?
Nope.
A mix of milk and cheese.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's curds and whey. Who ate it?
Little Miss Tuffet.
Little Miss Tuffet who sat on her tuffet. Very good. Eating her curds and whey. Some of you guys are looking at me with real blank stares right now. Do you guys remember your mother Goose? Huh?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. And along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. For those of you who don't remember back when you were 4. Okay. Now that's I know they don't. It's such a shame. It's so much fun. Okay, now these curds are the little baby pieces of cheese, and they form 12% of all the milk. That's the fat and protein sitting right there. And the whey is just the watery part of the milk that's in there. And I don't need that part. That's the other 88%. Don't need it. Pump it off. Curds fall to the bottom of the tub. Oops, I'm sorry. And they are still really, really slimy. They're still holding a lot more that way. I need to get rid of more of it. In order to do that, I add really hot water. Now, it sounds really weird to add water to get rid of water, but it works. I add 70 degrees Celsius water. That's about twice your body heat, so it's really hot. Straight into the tub, and I am spinning those